Good morning and sliding into afternoon. Judy Allen here, also known as Nana at Teach Me Nana Today. So today I'm going to show you how to make a
Good
box
morning and
lid
sliding
in the
in
size that you
afternoon.
want.
Judy
And
Allen
I'm
here,
gonna show you
also
some
known
different
as
things that we
Nana
can
at
do.
Teach Me Nana
All right,
Today.
and we're
So
going to use some stuff from the
today, I'm
kit,
going
but
to show
we're
you
going to also
how
have
to
to use
make
some
a box
cardstock,
lid
right? That
any
is not
size
in the
that you
kit.
want.
But let's go to the
And I'm
hands
gonna show you
and
some
let me
different
show
things
you
that
what
we
we're
can
going to do, all right?
All right, and we're
It's
going to
really
use some stuff from
easy.
the
It
kit, but
sounds
we're gonna-
complicated, but it is not. Okay, so this is what I showed you. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water because I was thirsty. Oh, and don't forget, today is Freebie Friday. So tell us what you birthday wish, what's top of your birthday wish list, and just post it under the video, whatever it says about the Freebie Friday, and you'll be in the drawing for 7 o'clock tonight. So this is something I was just doodling around. I was really sort of cleaning up a mess I made, and as a result, I ended up doodling while I was on the phone with my son as I was trying to clean up. And this is what I ended up with, and that's what I'm going to show you how we're going to make it into box lid. Bridget said I should make it in the box lid, so that's what we're going to do. So for me, I really like this size, so I wanted to start off with, and I'll show you what the size is. This is a 5 by, let me scoot it down a bit further, 4.5, okay? Which is regular cardstock size when we sit there and cut a piece of 8.5 by 11.25. Now, what I wanted to do though is I wanted to make a box, and I wasn't sure. I'm thinking of my special peeps, but this box could go to anybody, right? So I had to think about what size I wanted on the sides, because I want the top of the lid of my box to be this size. And I've already created a box right here that we're going to make the lid to, and I'll tell you the sizes in just a minute as we make this. So to start off with, I got a little bit of water. I'm going to take my drink of water. When I started off with this, I'm assuming I have sort of drawn this out for you just to give you a little idea. And the reason is because you can do this with any box, right? The main thing is you want to know what your finished lid top part of it wants to be. You want it to be, right? So in this particular case, right, what size do I want the bottom of the box and the top of the box to be? Okay, so they are going to be a little bit different, but it's the same concept. So in this particular case, I wanted to keep this size because I really liked the layout, right? So this is actually a 4.5 by 5 finished. Top, let's see if this writes. Okay, so this is what I wanted as the finished size on the top. Okay? Now, so I wasn't really sure what size I wanted the width of the box to be. So first thing is to decide what size of lid you want, right? Because that determines everything else. I decided I wanted to start with a 2-inch. So that's what this is here. This is 2 inches because I'm thinking of the special peeps. At first I thought this would be a gift box. But as I looked at this and I looked at this, I know at least 2 people that if they see it, they're going to want it and they're going to store stuff in this. So that's something else I have to keep in mind, all right? But for the moment, let's make the top. So this is what I want the finished size to be, so I was going to start off with a 2. So when you do that, I went ahead and drew this out to get a visual for you because you're not adding 2 inches to the total number. You're really adding 4. You're adding 2 inches from this side, 2 inches from this side, and you're adding 4 and to get 8.5. And this one, I just went ahead and did the 2 for you and a 2 just to show you that you know it's going to equal 9. So we have a tendency that, oh, I just want to add 2 inches, and we just add 2 inches to the 4.5. Well, then you don't end up with a size lid that I wanted here, which is a 4.5 by 5-inch lid. Okay. So that's important. Just keep, that's really, it's just math, right? It's just keep in mind that's what you're going to do, okay? Or else you have the opportunity for creativity. So that's what I'm going to start off with first. I started off with this here, and I'm going to just fold this on the score lines. I've already scored these on the 2-inch score lines. And then we have a decision to make, okay? So let me go ahead and I'm going to finish this. And the other thing that you want to do, and it just allows when you fold your box lid up, that it allows the corners to come out a little bit smoother. So what I do for me is I go ahead and I just cut down. Some people can cut, you know, at an angle right here. I just go ahead and cut mine right here, and then I just trim it on both sides just a little bit, right? And you're going to want to trim also just a smidgen, right? We're not talking about like cutting off the box or anything. Just a smidgen here on this corner too. It just helps that flap, you know, to hide your work, right? That it doesn't come up. Sometimes it wants to come up a little bit higher, and if you don't trim it off, and I sat up there and did that with the box bottom, and I had then just take my scissors across the top and trim it. And I'll show you what I mean. So if you see right here, you barely see it because I've cut it off. It's not quite smooth. So I had to come back with my scissors if I wanted it perfectly smooth to trim it off. Versus if I trim the edge like this here, just a smidgen, it would have been just fine. So I just start with this middle here because it just helps me, especially with the black, to see it better and see what I'm doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, let's see. You know what? I've got the extra light on. That's most probably creating shadow for you because we actually got rain. Whoop, whoop. And so it's cloudy outside because we're supposed to get more rain today. And we desperately needed it. And we are very thankful for what we already got. But we also know we need more. So there. All right. So I'm just trimming it off like I don't think I have. So we're just going to do this on all four sides, right? And then we're ready to put the box together. But we still got one more step before we put the box together, okay? Okay, no, I did that right. Okay. First, I thought talking to you and paying attention to what I was doing. Sort of like last night. My husband goes, yeah, when you doodle like that, you're not thinking. I said, nope, I wasn't thinking. I was just doodling. And things just sometimes happen when I doodle. So there you go. That I wouldn't even done myself on my own if I thought about it, right? If I was thinking about it. So it just goes to show you what you do subconsciously without thinking. Right? You can create. We were all in kindergarten. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on here. This is my last one, and we're going to do the last step before we finish this lid, and then decorate it, right? Because that's what it's all about. We're going to decorate it. This will be cute even for some Halloween stuff. However, I don't think the box bottom color I've chosen would go so well with that, but it's just whatever you want to do. So let me go down here. I'll trim this here. Okay. Alright, so the reason why I say you don't want to finish it off just yet, what you really want to do, now, when I made the bottom a smidgen. I did the scored line a smidgen larger than I did this, so that when I folded it up in this particular ink like this, that it would be smaller. It just makes the lid going a lot easier, okay? So I'm just going to show you. Let's put this here. Now the thing is, this I designed. So when I did the 2 inches and I did the one on the bottom, it slid on real easy, right? And I have a smidgen of the color on the bottom that is showing. So when you make your box, you have to decide. If I was doing this black and black, I really wouldn't matter, right? But because I'm doing it 2 different colors, and I wanted to also pick up the color here, I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to size it down. All right? So that's a personal choice because I really would like this to show. And you just have to decide how much you want to show. So I think I would like at least that amount to show. This most probably at least a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. All right? So all I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my paper trimmer. And I'm just going to trim off 3/4 of an inch all the way around. And it doesn't really matter, right? So I can either, I'm going to do it on my flaps as well too, right? And I might have to come back and trim it again, right? But I'm just going to trim now. So you can see that's how much 3/4 of an inch is. Let's see what a 1/2 inch is. All right, so a 1/2 inch is just that amount of space. So I really want at least 3/4 of an inch. And I only have 2 inches, right? So I had to keep some for a box lid. So all I'm going to do, now this is just a personal choice, right? When I did the lid to begin with, I wasn't sure. What color bottom, but I decided I really just wanted, put that aside. I wanted to show the bottom of the box, okay? Because I've got some really pretty ribbon that's, I'm trying to think of the name of it offhand. It's silver, right? It's silver, and It's I don't have it with me either. But anyway, it's a mesh. It's a silvery mesh, and it's really, they did it for Halloween last year, but it makes really pretty for other things because it's silver. It can be done for wedding stuff or whatever. But I thought it'd be really good to put on this box too. Put a tight lid down or whatever. Okay, so as you can see now that I've trimmed it down, I'm just going to have to come and trim the corner edges here. Alright, so I just have a little bit like I wanted that smooth finish. And then we're going to see how it looks. It should look just fine, right? It should. Sometimes things don't pan out the way we think and we get to start all over again, but that's okay. Or it provides an opportunity for creativity, which I have done that many a times. Not just on stuff like this. In sewing, making quilts. I would have to say just about anything and everything I have created, even in cooking, that I have had the opportunity for creativity at some point in time. Okay, so, hey lady, happy birthday to you in advance. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So see, this is how much pink I'm going to get to see. And that's fine. I wanted at least seeing some pink. So I could have actually done it a little bit less, but this is going to work for me just fine. So I'm going to take this here. And we're just going to... So like I said, you just, whatever size you want your box to be, especially the top, right? That is what you're going to use as your guideline to decide on what size you want to cut the cardstock. Now, not all cardstock is created equal, okay? Offhand, I could not tell you the thickness of this, but you don't want to use a thin cardstock, right? If you wanted to use a thin cardstock, you're going to only want to use that on something that you've got a very lightweight gift or something you're going to put in here, right? If you were going to put marbles, you can't imagine this peeps I have, but I do another special peep I have that might put marbles or something, or rocks or something like that in their box because they like to collect rocks. You know, I might have to consider this. I might have to reinforce the bottom of this, you know, so it'd be able to handle the rocks, right? But I'm not building it for that. I'm building it for the peeps that I know that hopefully are going to be lighter stuff. So when I go to do this right here, because I scored it a little bit beyond 2 inches, it's like 2 1/8 for the bottom, the lid goes on very easy. So here I've got my 2-color box. Ah, you're welcome, lady. So now I'm just going to sit there and put this on here. Now this is actually from the Paper Pumpkin kit. It was a die cut already provided. And I'm going to tell you just as soon as I get ready to do this other one. And I can put Wink of Stella on this flower. So here we go here. Now this is actually bats. They look like butterfly. They're bats. They're leftover bats from our Creating for Kids on Saturday. It's glow in the dark. But they look like butterflies, right? Or at least to me they do at the moment, because I want them to be butterflies, so they look like butterflies as a result. So that's what those are. And I can add bling too. The purpose wasn't to show you the bling and all at the moment. It was just to show you how to make the box lid. But that's the beauty of this, right? Oop, it stuck to me. You have choices. You can put bling on here if you want. I know for sure I'm going to put some Wink of Stella. Woo woo, because I can. And I know I'm going to put that silver mesh ribbon and I'm going to tie a bow. Now the thing is, with the peeps I have, and if they decide to use this on a regular basis all the time, that bow's not going to last very long unless I glue it on, right? So, I might have to do that. I don't know. We'll wait and see what they do. I have the opportunity to change whatever I do anytime I want. But it's going to go around this box. This is going to look real pretty, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to post a picture later with a ribbon on it, and I'll have to decide about the bling. But with these glow in the dark, let me see if I can get my phone and get it to glow for you right now. My glow in the dark I'm going to use bats. And let just so you can see how it's going to look, man. That's what I want. I want to be able to see it glow in the dark at nighttime, right? Let's see if it shows up really good for you or not. Or even me. I really can't see it showing up. So when we did the glow-in-the-dark piece of paper, you could put the flashlight on it and leave it there for a moment. You could see that it turned like a really different green. Okay, that's not working for me right now, but you know what? I can go into a dark closet and see. And if I have to do a bigger butterfly on here so it glows in the dark for them, I will. But I really didn't want to. I really like this the way it is. Okay, I'm not seeing where it's really showing up with my flashlight. So, like it did for us when we originally showed him doing it. But anyway, there it is. So it's just my doodling from here that I took and made into a lid, box lid right here. So you can see the sides. I just took off 3/4 of an inch all the way around. I can easily put a ribbon that'll cross across that, or I can do it with just the black. So I've given myself options, right? Now see there, it looks like I might could trim that a little bit more, but I'm not, because it looks like somehow I got an angle going there. But they're not going to know that, and I'm going to put ribbon there. Yeah, see, you can see looks like I don't know what I did, but it's okay. You know it, and I know it only because you're seeing the video. If you don't see the video, you won't know. But the last thing I want to add to my box lid is this. And I really like this. This kit tells you all about the lotus flower and how it's long revered in different cultures around the world. So I'm actually going to cut this off, and I'm going to put it in the lid here. So I'm just going to sit up here, because I think that's important. You know, I think it's one of those things, even when I read the stuff about the lotus flower, I didn't know about it. But now that I do, I want to share it with everybody, because I think it's really important. We lose, through time, it seems like we lose some of the cultural things. And, you know, I grow dandelion. I let dandelions grow so I can eat them. So there's other things too. But all I'm going to do, so I'm going to have to trim it down just a little bit, because I want it when they open the lid of the box, just like here. I want this to be right here for them. So whether they treasure it as much as I do, they may not now. But hopefully as they get older and all, they will treasure stuff like this. So we know the box lid. Just so you remember, our box lid was 4.5 by 5, the finished lid. So we know this is going to be shorter. So I'm going to cut this at 4 inches, because right now it is at, I want to say 4.25 by, and it was at 5.5, I think. I should have told you that before I cut it. Yes, it was at 4.25 by 5.5, because it was the back side of the card, right? So I just cut it off. That's all I did. And lots of times when I do my alternatives, lots of times that's what I do. All right, so I'm just going to put this right here. And you know what? I may also, what would be really awesome too, is the envelope has a lotus flower. So when they see this, I want them to really not only see the box and how pretty I made it for them. You know what? I'll most probably end up having to make 2, right? If you got 2 grandkids, 2 granddaughters, or 3 granddaughters, one sees what the other one has, and you have to end up making another one, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the envelope, and it's kind of, you know, sometimes, yes, and this one's I'm going to already cut up. Boop, boop. See, that's why I always tell you to save your leftovers, because all I have to do is fussy cut this off. And I'm going to put it right up there next to the words lotus flower. And you know, with technology and all nowadays too, they can go online and look up lotus flower too. But I am making it a little convenient for them that every time they open this box, they are going to see the lotus flower. So I don't think either of them live anywhere that lotus flowers grow. Maybe one person, but that's okay. They can go see what a lotus flower looks with their 2 eyes, right? So that's all I'm going to do is just fussy cut. And this way, this will match the lid. And I'll show you that. And we're just going to put it right here in the lid of the box. And that's just all we're doing is just fussy cutting. You might want to call it something else. That's what a lot of people call it, is fussy cutting. I don't think it's fussy, but anyway. So here's my lid right now. So see how nice it goes with it. I mean, the green is different because this is more blue than green, but it's okay. They look the same. All I'm going to do is put it right here. And then we're done. Good afternoon, Debbie. I really love these flowers. So I'm just going to put this right here on the side of the box. So it doesn't matter. You can put it wherever you want. I'm just put it right there. So not only when they go into this box, and I'm going to decorate it with some ribbon. I hadn't decided about gems, bling yet, but definitely I put some Wink of Stella on there, as you can see. So here it is now, finished here. And then when she opens the box, she's going to see this right here. Isn't that nice? I really like that. Okay, and I'm going to also put some Wink of Stella on here too, because Wink of Stella is just a nice glittery, like fairy dust. When it dries, just got a little sparkle. Okay, there we go. So there's the inside of my box. Whoop, whoop. Box lid. My bottom of the box. And there we go. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me see. Let me get me here. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was very fun to make. And I'll put the measurements out there again for you. I did put this up there earlier in case you missed it. And I had just sort of drew it out. And it's just easy to make. So, all you have to do is just change the size of the lid based on whatever size you want it to be. Now, one thing is, cardstock only comes in 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12. Alright? So your limit's going to be the 12 by 12. But if you make a box that big, you just want to make sure it's sturdy enough to whatever you're going to put in it, that the box or container will hold it, right? So that's the main thing. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, today is Freebie Friday, so if you haven't done it yet, go post what is at the top of your birthday list where we sit out there and have Freebie Friday at. Just put it in the comments below it, and we will be doing the drawing tonight at 7 o'clock. We're doing it here, and we're also doing it on Adventurous Stamping, so we will be giving away some kits. So with that, be blessed. If you're not following us here already, please do. And also please follow us on YouTube. We'll also post the videos there. And we also post what we've made on Instagram. All right, be blessed. Have an amazing weekend. Look forward to seeing you next week with Teach Me Nana. Bye.